Hi sewing friends, this is Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles, and today I have a video to show you specific things and hacks I made on the Molly dress by Sew over at City Break Capsule Wardrobe. So I have it on right now. I always wanted to make that dress look like a sweatshirt dress. I wanted a really casual dress that I could wear with boots. Always thought out for the winter, throw in a jacket, throw in a silk scarf, and I'll be done. So the original dress just has a normal neckline with a normal waist neckband, and I always wanted this type of neck. So I cut it quite deep there, and then I attached on this turtleneck, as I call it. I also did some cuffs there and a hemband. Anyway, I have footage for all of this, so have a look at that and then I'll be back. So the normal neckline for the front here would be way up higher, and I've already trimmed that down to as low as I want. And the back neckline I've left the same, so the one over there. So I'm just going to quickly measure. Here I'm going to deduct the seam allowance, so I've got about 14.5 centimeters right there. And for the front, I'm going to measure 26.5, so 25, deducting the seam allowance. So I'm going to quickly do this on my calculator. I have 25 plus 14.5. That's 39.5 centimeters, just the one side, you know. So I'm going to multiply that by 2, and I have 79. So 79 is the circumference of my neckline. And because I've assessed this fabric, it's a jersey. It stretches, but not that much. I'm going to go, and I'm guesstimating with an 80% width. So I'm going to multiply that 0.8. So I'm going to measure my turtleneck with a 63 centimeter circumference. So I'll do that now, and you'll see that on the next clip. Okay, so I have my scrap piece of fabric. I make sure this is jersey, that it's going down in the same direction as the dress. And I had this measurement, 63.2 centimeter circumference, and it's smaller than my neckline because it will stretch and that will make it not gape. So I'm going to go ahead, divide this by 2, and it gives me 31.6. So I'm going to measure, this is my fold line here, and this is where I'm going to have that seam. So I'm going to have one seam in this neck. So 31... let's say 31.5. Let's just round it to 32, including 1 centimeter seam allowance. You know, this does stretch, so it doesn't have to be exact science, you know. So I'm going to make a rectangle that's going to have 32 centimeters there, but when you open it up, it'll be 64. And then take away 1 centimeter seam allowance. So I'm just making marks here all the way up, so I have and you see I do a lot of chalk drawing because that's what I have. Cool. So how long do I want this turtleneck? I want it to be about 20 centimeters in height, so I have to cut double because it's going to be folded over. So I'm going to measure about 40. Lines up there where I marked the 40. So you can do whatever length you want. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer, but I find that's a happy measurement for me. And the other Molly top I did with this hack, I did that and I liked how it looks. So basically this is going to be my neck piece. I'm going to sew that. That's going to be my seam. And then once that's sewn and pressed open, I'm going to turn this over and I'll have my neck piece. That is just like a neckband, really. It's exactly the same, only huge, you know, like wide. So continuing with the sweatshirt appearance, I have cut a long band how much is this? About 3 inches wide. And I'm gonna fold this and I'm gonna stitch this onto my hem, and this will be like a hemband. I'm also cutting this a tad shorter than the dress, so it gives it like a little bit of a cocoon shape, and it's basically the same effect as what I'm wearing right now. I'll switch. This is a tunic top and I finished it off with a hemband there. I have my neck piece here. This is the fold, and I've overlocked that seam there, and I've done the same with the little cuffs. It's the fold and stitched on the seam, same. And I've done exactly the same with the band I'm going to use instead of a hem. Here I've stitched on both sides because I couldn't get it on the fold. So what I'm going to do with each one is exactly the same, and I'm just going to fold it. I'm just going to fold it like that and hide that seam inside. This jersey curls quite a lot, so I've had to pin it all the way around, or else it would just be all curly. What I've done here, this is the hemband. Here I have my seams, and I've marked the middles here on the other sides. So I've basically divided the circumference into quarters, and I've done the same with my neck piece. Here's one, there's another line, and there's another chalk mark there, and that's my seam that I'm going to place in the middle of the back. I'm not going to do that with the cuffs because the cuffs are tiny and I can just put them on. So this is the bottom of the dress. Here's my hemband, and I'm going to go ahead and place this on top and just match my chalk lines all the way around. So I'm basically putting the dress inside my hemband, and I'm going to pin and overlock. I've marked on the neckline the quarters, so there's 1/4, there's another one at the back here on there's my other mark there, and so I'm going to match that with the quarters of this neckline, and that back seam I'm going to match up with the back mark there. This is the exact way you would attach on a neck band, a smaller one, like a more narrow one. So here's that quarter, and here's that quarter, and this is my neckline from the dress. It's much wider than the neckband. So I have to stretch this to match that, and pin 1,000 pins, and I'll do that all the way around. Pin there, and it looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? Here's my neck, my turtleneck, so that's a nice straighty bit, and then inside, look at all this wrinkly stuff. That is the part of the dress that is bigger than the neck. So I'm going to go carefully stretching it and sewing so that this stretches with that, and when I'm done, all these wrinkles will disappear and I'll have a nice neck that doesn't gape and stuff like that. Cool, so I hope you found that useful. As you can see, I repeat several times that attaching this longer neck piece is exactly the same technique as attaching a neckband. It's just that your neckband is like this and this was like that. But the way that you attach it is still the same. You know, it's the same way I do everything. I divide this by 4, I divide that by 4, I mark them, I match them, I stretch, I pin and I sew. Exactly the same. Now I didn't need to do that with the cuffs, but I did the exact technique to put the hemband at the bottom. So this dress turned out exactly as I pictured it up here in my head. Exactly. This can be a pajama. It can be a dress you put on and you look nice, but casual and really, really comfortable and warm, you know. So yeah, I really like how it turned out. I know you can't see it here. If I stand back, you can't really tell. I'm wearing a slip underneath, and I would never just wear it like this. I'd always wear a jacket over it because it is a winter dress. So I hope you enjoyed this little tiny video, and tomorrow I am doing the Florence dress. Yeah, so keep your eyes open for that one. Bye.